democracy is not the right word. Rather, promoting democracy. You give the people a choice. And the choice of the Biafra people is a referendum. It is also a democratic process. So that is not undermining a democracy. More accepted democratic process is when you give the people choice to decide their fate.
But they have a choice. This is an election which will be following democratic...
In Nigeria, Biafran people do not have a choice. And that is a historical problem created by the Britain. So everybody, as you have been a journalist with your experience and the history of Nigeria, you agree with me that Nigeria is a mistake because of the tribal and dangerous diversity in Nigeria, which is also a destructive diversity. So when you give the people the choice to choose how they want to live, that is a true democracy. A democracy is not when you bring in the military and invent communities, burn the communities because people are protesting. You kill them. Is that democracy? Do you do that in the United Kingdom? The answer is no.
But what about your role in all this, your tweets?
My role...
Wait a minute. Your role in all this, your tweets and your social media. Why the need for violence?
It is, yeah.
At least 1,500 people died in the last 3 presidential election campaigns.
Was it my fault then?
And there have been deaths so far in this one too.
That's what we want to correct, by making sure we do not continue to validate an evil entity that subjects their citizens to death. So the only solution to this is to disintegrate this evil entity and allow people to make their choice so that they can develop and, practice politics in the best way possible, just like the Europeans here.
So are you justifying the violence that comes from this kind of stuff that you...
It is not, the violence is not about what I do. It is the provocation of the policy of Nigeria. Okay? So it is a long time bomb coming. So what you see happening now, Nigeria have a history of violence from the beginning of Nigeria. After independence, every election in Nigeria has witnessed violence. So it is not about me. I am here as a good guy to put an end, to have a lasting solution to the violence that have caused the life of thousands of Nigerians.
But do you not accept that some of the things that you say has engendered this kind of...
From your own perspective, you can translate it and interpret it however you want. But from my own perspective, I think I am the good guy trying to teach the people that they have a right.
So there's no blood on your hands?
There is no blood on my hand. There are more blood on those supporting the election, supporting this particular coming election. They have more blood in their hand. In Imo State, you have a governor that have invaded his own state, killed people, and why are you people not talking about that? Those are the people that have blood in their hand. All the people that have been elected in Nigeria since 1960 all have had bloods in their hand, and nobody is asking the question. I am just the good guy who say enough is enough. Somebody has to say something, and somebody has to do something, and we're doing it.
But couldn't you make more progress if you were in the tent, as it were, rather than out of the tent, in another country?
Sorry?
You're in Finland.
Yes.
So wouldn't it be better if you went back home and did the political thing there?
You should know. You see, I learn from what happened to others. I don't want to put my life in danger because the country, as far as I'm concerned, does not exist. Any country that does not respect the rule of law does not exist.
You're scared you might be killed?
Not everybody. You know that. You can say that as well. Yes.
There's a bounty on
because yes, there's a bounty on my head because Nigeria, because of the Islamic agenda in Nigeria, whoever that rises up to say something that will, make the life of the people to be better, they want to kill the person. They assassinate people every day. And today you see that there is a video that has been released by a man called Ikenga Imo, when an assassin invaded his house and they wanted to kill him. They are police officers. But if there is no CCTV, they will say unknown gunmen. These are the people that are causing all this crisis in Biafra land. But without that video, everybody has concluded that they are unknown gunmen. Today we have known them. What are the government doing about it? What are the international community doing about it? Every evidences that have surfaced anywhere about CCTV camera, it has always been security agent from the Nigeria state. Nobody is talking about that. That is what we are fighting against. We are defending ourselves, and we have armed ourselves to fight Nigeria till the last day. We have done it before. The only difference now is that today we have social media. If social media was there in the 1960s, somebody would do what I'm doing today. In those days, you have we have a man called Okokondem. Okokondem was broadcasting for Radio Biafra and was propagating Biafra stuff, but because there were no social media, so he would have done even more than I'm doing today, I believe so. So this is what will make a difference. And my activities on social media is educating the people, telling them they are right, that you have a right to say no, and you have the right to say yes.
Who's funding you and your organization?
Biafra people are funding my organization.
Not the Tinubu party?
I have nothing to do with Tinubu. And you know, it's very funny. A lot of people said Tinubu paid me 25 million. How is that possible? How is it possible?
You're denying he
I don't know who is Tinubu. I have never communicated with anybody close to him. Just like the way they forged the letter. The reason why this letter issue, Nigeria is a criminal country. They breed criminals. And that is what we are fighting against. The reason why the letter on gets sorted out easily and fast was because it was against Finland. And Finland have to officially react to the letter. And the letter went viral. There are so many lies against me out there on social media. Nobody could come and say it is not true. Okay? So that is, and those lies, when they continue to say it and maintain it, it becomes truth when nobody debunk it.
You talk about criminals. Do you think the candidates for the presidency are criminals?
They are all criminals. Yes, all of them.
Even Peter Obi.
Peter Obi is a criminal.
But he's a southerner, isn't he?
He doesn't. I am not a tribal. Listen, I'm not a tribalist. I'm not a tribalist, and that is what makes us different. We want. If I'm criticizing you, I criticize you with fact and figures. I'm going to tell you how all of them are. Do I explain? One, starting from Atiku. Atiku was indicted in the United States for money laundering. He's a criminal. How do you think that if Nigeria is the United States, Atiku will come back and start contesting with the criminal record he has had for money laundering? Tinubu was indicted in the United States for drug pushing. The records are there, so it's criminal. Nigeria is being ruled by criminals, and they breed criminals. Peter Obi his name was in Pandora. He didn't deny it. It's also the part of money laundering, international money laundering crime. He has $15 million in offshore accounts.
But surely Obi, being a southerner, is on the side of your people.
That is the problem. Why must you have somebody the side of my people? That is the dangerous diversity that have brought us this far, because it will never work. Everything about Nigeria is what favors my people. We want a Biafra where everything favors everybody. But when you have Nigeria, it is either Fulani. Now we don't even have Hausa anymore, because Fulani have overshadowed them. So it is either you are fighting for Northerner as a Fulani Muslim, or you are fighting for Yorubas, or you are fighting for Igbo people. So how can you continue in that kind of system? This is why we must make sure that we do not validate Nigeria again. So.
Let me just say that.
Do you know what?
Yeah. Nani? Yeah, good. There's a meter. Yeah. Sorry, that's not security. Yeah.
What's your relationship with Mr. Kanu at the moment?
Kanu is the leader of indigenous people of Biafra, and I regard him as my leader.
Did you talk? Do you have contact with him?
Well, we communicate somehow, but that's a confidential issue.
Because you see, he's disavowed violence. He thinks he's made statements to say that
everybody condemn violence. I condemn violence. I have always condemned violence on social media. Maybe you don't follow that. But where is the violence coming? Who are those committing the violence? They are the Nigeria state. And their intention is to use violence to blackmail what we're doing. And of course, you do not expect people who are Nigerians who are angry, who have lost hope. And the next thing you see from them is when you are hopeless, you become violent. So what is happening now is not caused by anybody. It is caused by the system itself. And until we begin to understand that the violence happening in Nigeria is being generated by the Nigeria system itself, we will never be telling ourselves the truth.
Are you going to rein in your rhetoric a little bit now? Because
How?
We're in the election period. You know people hang on to your words, and it can cause some violence, can't it?
Well, I don't care. You know, we are already at war. In Biafra side of Nigeria, there is a war going on there, and I don't know why medias are not covering it. Do you see a democratic place where the plane will be throwing bombs to the people? It's war. The villages are getting burnt, houses are getting burnt. Even in Ukraine, where you go into now, the number of people dying in Biafra land are to number the people dying in Ukraine. So how do you balance that? And who are doing this? The Nigeria themselves, the Nigeria state. You know, when the military comes to the village, instead of protecting the people, they get angry because they obey our orders and then they start burning their villages. So we don't want to continue like that. We want to have, the only solution to this is the disintegration of Nigeria. And if Nigeria do not disintegrate now, the disintegration later on will be very, very, very chaotic, to be very hard before international community, if they continue to let us manage this and force people into election in Biafra land, when this time bomb is going to explode, it will affect everyone.
One last question.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the election?
Election is not happening in Biafra land.
Because you don't want people to vote?
Not me. Biafra have decided. I am telling you the fact. There is nothing that will make Biafran's people to go out and vote. This is a life and death matter. We have come a long way. For over 50 years, Nigeria have done all manner of genocide, committed genocide against our people, kill us every day, and you expect us to allow them to continue to kill us, to elect governors that will bring military and militarize our territory? We can't do that again.
That's 11 million votes, isn't it?
Nobody will vote in Biafra land. I am telling you the fact. It will shock the world. We've made up our mind and we know what we have on ground. Nobody will vote in Biafra land.
Even if that undermines the rest of the...
It is not undermining, no. This particular civil disobedience is also a democratic process. And I want you to see it in that perspective. When people say, I don't want, it is their choice. And if you think that there are people who want to vote, that are bigger in number, conduct a referendum. As simple as that.
Simple.
For now, we control 90% of Biafra people.
Simple.
90%.
Do referendum, then we will see.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.